are we right now?
Since you mentioned it, so this is our condo here.
Yeah, we just moved here, I think, a better part of like
And
6 or
Matthew.
7-ish
Yeah.
months. Over 2 years ago, I proposed to Lucia Romano to marry her, and we've enjoyed this experience as fiancés. And now we have a date for our wedding, and we are looking forward to it.
Well, let's talk about Lucia. If you want to go back and tell the story from your perspective, where you guys started as babies, really, but...
As babies, the only people that could tell you the fuller perspective is my mom, Michelle, Lucia's mom, Maria Romano, and Lucia combined.
When did you first meet Matthew?
Oh, wow. That's another great question, too. I met Matthew. We were babies to start with.
So Lucia was probably a year and a half, and Matthew was a year younger, so he was tiny.
And then I said, well, I think he's kind of cute to start with.
And I'm like, Lou, you were like a year and a half. I'm not sure you remember that, but
Lucia's always keep saying about me as a baby that I was cute. So she had a little thing on me when I was a baby, apparently.
We just literally have just been friends in different little pockets of groups since then.
Lucia and I would be lucky if we saw each other here and there, stumbled upon each other. But it was then, 2013. We went out because our moms fixed us up on a date. Chacerone!
Chacerone! What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
So good to see you.
So good to see you.
All right, so what do you think we should do?
Let's do some tacos.
Tacos?
Yeah, because I very special lady, Lucia Romano.
Well, we should surprise Lucia with tacos for dinner.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Like that.
Beautiful.
And then turn it.
Yep. And then do it right down the middle. Just watch out for your fingers. Make sure you're not going to come down on them. Awesome. Yeah.
Sweet.
Macarone.
Chacerone.
Woo! When was the first time that you realized that you had Down syndrome?
At the time, I did not know I had Down syndrome. And then by the time of 7th grade, I knew what it was. And I kind of knew how it affected me, like, through the general information, but nothing more than that. Fast forward years later, in high school, the first half of freshman year, that's when I truly saw how Down syndrome truly affected me. I like to say I fell victim to the same narratives that my parents had.
A pediatrician that we had never met before came in and said, I think your baby has Down syndrome. Oh, I am gonna get weepy. And I told him that wasn't possible because the prenatal test I had said that everything was fine. And he said, yes, that happens with some frequency. So it's a little hard to remember who I was then because I was devastated. I was mad. I was scared. And I was really sad because I had no idea. I remember the conversation that I had with my husband was, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go to school? Is he gonna have friends? Is he gonna embarrass us? Is he gonna get married? Is he gonna have a job? All the things. And Robert did a much better job. He was like, well, he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. It's up to us to be the parents that he needs. I was like, well, yes, of course, but I was still mad and sad and all of those. It took me a long time.
And at the time, my friends were only upperclassmen, like juniors and seniors, having boyfriends and girlfriends, which all that stuff during that time period I never had, but I've always wanted that kind of life.
And it's so cute. That's us back in the older days.
Yes, and that was even before our boyfriend and girlfriend stage, we were friends because we first started off from December 7th of 2013 until October 18th, 2015. During that time, we were just friends, and then that October 18th of that year, 2015, I asked her to be my girlfriend. Lucia, Romano, will you be my girlfriend?
Yes.
Yay! Nothing but dreams. You and I. Brand new sun. And I love to walk. I love to dance. Never on the ground. Never look down. The larger disability community cannot just live in a community. They need to contribute and actually be a vital part of the community, even if it's just volunteering or working. Because we are productive citizens. We cannot just live in a productive community. We gotta make ourselves productive because we gotta be a fixture in our productive community. I'm an actor. I did 2 commercials. I'm in a movie called Horse Girls that is expected to come out as part of a limited deal of the first 50 theaters this summer. Horse Girls.
Horse Girls?
Yes.
Horse Girls.
One of the first Fridays where it was a beautiful day outside, we just got slammed. I mean, every single table in the restaurant was packed, and I was like, okay, I need to get this table clean, I need to get this table clean, these people need to be taken care of. And every single time I turned around, Matthew was there helping, and whether it was seating a guest or taking care of a table or even helping run food, he was like my superhero that day. So anytime I felt stressed out, I could turn around and see Matthew taking care of it. So he was my superhero that day for sure.
Yeah, and Jessie is my superhero too. Even though she says I'm her superhero. That's kind of true, but she's my anchor.
Something happened. Maria and I were at a gathering when the kids were in high school, and we were commiserating that both Lucia and Matthew was a freshman in high school and Lucia was a sophomore, and they had both been lamenting to us separately about how everybody in high school has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And they were both separately, they had not been communicating, but that they each wanted a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And so we were just, I don't remember exactly what happened. We were just having a conversation and said, why don't we just fix them up on a date?
In my sophomore year, I met this gorgeous woman, which I did not know, because the first time was when I had no memory when I was a baby. And it was December 7th, 2013. And we went out to see Frozen when it first came out in theaters at South Point Mall.
Worst case scenario, they go to a movie and they have a story to tell at school. We went on a date, have a boyfriend, whatever. And I don't even think I think we probably were like, well, in best case scenario, they can date each other for a little while.
And then I went home wondering why I cannot take my eyes off of her. And I ended up crying, and I realized, oh, this is true love. And the woman I'm speaking of is my now almost wife, Lucia Romano. I love her so much, and sometime early on in my life, my mom, a little bit later in my life, my mom asked me, just out of curiosity, would you get rid of your Down syndrome? Oh, we should talk about this one.
Oh yeah, this is so cute over here. The other day we came back from Chicago.
Oh, yes. I got something to say to you.
Oh my God.
We went ring shopping, and we took Lucia so she could try some on and show him what she liked, what her preferences were. And then he and I went ring shopping, and he chose one, and he bought it with his own money. He did the whole thing, and then unbeknownst to me, asked Lucia's parents if we had discussed that you need to ask the parents. And so he did that one day when he was over there, and Lucia, I guess, had gone to work, and Maria called me and said, "Why didn't you give me a heads up?" And I said, "Heads up for what?" And then she told me, and I was like, "Well, because I didn't know." So then that started the whole thing, and then he...
And I asked Maria, her mother, and her father, Fran, for the blessing to propose to Lucia. And they honestly fell out of their seats. When I asked them, "Hey, can I have your blessing to propose to your daughter?" And then they fell out of their seat, and they did not know what I was going to say about that.
He was definitely ready. He had been ready for a very long time.
And I said, I want to approach it the way we did as boyfriend and girlfriend. I want a long engagement to get used to with the ropes. And then Maria's like, and Fran like, "I'm down for that."
And that went fabulously well, and you could see so much love in that proposal, and she felt like a little princess.
Lucia, Maria Romano, will you do me the great honor of marrying me?
Oh my God. It's a yes, baby. It's definitely a yes.
Shut it up. For my honey, honey.
My friend David can think of this.
You're doing a great job. Oh, was that your show?
Yeah. I used to do that.
Oh, we just talked about that the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Like and subscribe, or describe.
There you go.
Lucia's YouTube channel. Only one video on YouTube, on her channel, which is How to Make Crepes by Lucia Romano.
Hey, stop, followers. Alright, so the mix is done. Now it's time to start cooking. Alright, follow me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
How did you get the TED Talk?
Well, it was my mom actually. She reached out thinking, "Oh, this is a cool opportunity." Including people with Down syndrome. It's good for business. It is good for the community. And it is good for me and others like me. And that means it is good for the world.
I guess we realized that he was very comfortable as a public speaker when he gave a presentation in 7th grade about Down syndrome and killed it.
How does Down syndrome affect your life?
Down syndrome affects my life by having all those treatments to help me get stronger because of people.
I'm trying to think how to word this. He, after about 1st or 2nd grade, that after 1st grade he was never invited to a birthday party, but which is very typical. It's not because that's not exclusive to Matthew. It's very typical of people with disabilities. I know that's it. And I don't know that he realized that because he was young. And, you know, we did enough things, and he did enough things with his brothers, and we had friends in the neighborhood. But he definitely noticed it later when his brothers were hanging out with friends in high school and going out and hanging out. Nobody.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah,
You did good.
big pie.
Taco Monday.
Woo!
I'm grateful for both of you.
You're sweet.
You're awesome.
Shall I say a prayer?
Oh, yeah, let's do it in the prayer.
Yeah, you start.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
I asked him if he would get rid of his Down syndrome, if he could. And he thought about it and he looked at me like I was probably didn't have a lot of sense. And he honestly said, "Why would I do that?" And I said, "Well, things might be easier for you if you didn't have Down syndrome." And he said, "But I love my life."
I told Mom something profound. I said, I do not want to get rid of my Down syndrome because I love it. My life will not be the same without Down syndrome. I will not have met Lucia, or if I did, I'll met her in a vastly different way in all those aspects. And since then, I never see my life without Down syndrome. I've always seen it with Down syndrome because I view Down syndrome as the special enhancer of my life.
And the amazing around this condo here, so the one that we're sitting, they're up here. I made this actually.
Yes, years ago. She was a pro with art.
And I am always amazed by parents, and I know many who say that they don't see the diagnosis, they just see their kid. Honestly, I see the diagnosis every day, every time I'm with him. But it's okay, but I do see it. Because Matthew has Down syndrome. It is a huge part of who he is. He has embraced it 100%, and I don't know that I know anybody who's prouder of themselves than he is. So
I love my life the way it is. I would not want to change it. I did most the first half of freshman year, but now I do not want to change my life because I love my life.
Back to the beginning, when you were asking about how it felt at the beginning, really and truly, one of my first questions was, will he ever get married? And the answer is yes. He is getting married.
Thank you for watching. We're not sure how much longer this channel can keep going, and it's supported from viewers like you. It's literally just me and my dad making these videos. We're so grateful for everyone who's donated. If these stories mean anything to you, please consider a donation. Our next episode is Lucia's story. Here's some comments that prove your donation is directly impacting lives.